welcome to the next part of your orientation, possibly the most important part of your orientation for Mary Kay. We are going to talk about bookings, how to get them, how to secure them, all of that good stuff. And I will tell you that bookings are the most important part of your business. This is possibly the most important orientation because without this, you're not going to be able to do any of it. In Mary Kay, we are a lot different than a lot of other direct sales companies are. We are not based on catalog sales, so you cannot assume that you can take a catalog to work and get rich off of that. Not going to happen. You might make a couple bucks, but most likely you're going to spend more time ordering and delivering products than was really worth your time. And the other thing that really sets us apart is that we don't expect 10, 15, 20 women at a party. Mary Kay Ash, our founder, set our business up so that it was an intimate group of women getting together to learn about skincare. That's why I prefer to call it the skincare class and not a party because, yeah, we have fun. We party. We have a great time, but it's about learning. It is about teaching women how to take care of their skin, how to apply makeup, how to feel better about themselves, things like that. Sorry, I'm a little wobbly here. So what I'm going to do today is go over with you the booking script that you're going to want to use for the first little bit in your business. Now, there are millions and millions of scripts out there. I seriously feel like that. But this is what you want to use in the beginning when you're first calling your friends and your family members, the people that you know are going to book with you because they want to help you out. They want to see you succeed. This is not the script you'll use when you're calling referrals. This is not the script you would use on Facebook, things like that. We'll go over that at a different time. But what I want you to know is you have to perfect this script and being on the phone before you can move on and successfully do something else. A lot of new consultants think that they're going to build their business solely by posting Facebook statuses about the fact that they need bookings, things like that. And I want you to know that Facebook is an awesome tool for our business. Seriously, I've built a lot of my business off of Facebook, off of social media, things like that, things that people didn't have in the past. But what we have to know is that you can't be great at that until you're great at it this way. Kind of the egg before the chicken kind of thing. You gotta be great at one before you can grow up and be good at the other. You gotta walk. Crawl before you walk before you run, things like that. So just know that it's really important to be proficient at this before you try to move on and do a different way. On each step of these orientations, you're going to get a challenge from me, and I'll give you a challenge at the end of this video. In order to claim your prize, you'll need to complete that challenge and then fill out the link that's attached at this video or below this video that says claim my prize, something like that. You'll go there, you'll tell me what challenge you completed, the booking challenge, and if I promised you a specific prize, then you can tell me that. Otherwise, I'll give you the prize that you earned. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, like I said, these are going to be phone calls. And these are going to be phone calls to people that you know. In the Beat the Box checklist that we already went over, you were asked to make a list of 150 women. Most likely, the first 10, 15, 20 of those are going to be the women that you're going to be calling here. You write down the people you know the best first, usually. So, your mom, your sister, your aunt, your best friend, your coworker that you're really close with, things like that. People that you know will help you out because you asked them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the new consultant booking script. Now, I have attached that here in this email, so I would love for you to pull that up and read along with me while I go through it. First, I'm going to read through the whole thing. Then I'm going to go through it and tell you why each part is important. And then what I ask is before you pick up the phone and make any phone calls, you read this out loud to yourself at least 5 times. And then if you've got a husband or someone who doesn't care to listen to you and role play with you a couple times, it's even better if you can read it to them a few times and have them answer the questions. The more familiar you are with the script, the more natural it'll sound when you're saying it on the phone. I know that it feels really uncomfortable to read a script. I know that. Believe me, when I first started, I really struggled with the script thing. I really went against it and really tried to not use the scripts that were given to me. I tried to change them to make them sound like myself, things like that. And I'll tell you that these scripts are here for a reason. These have been developed over the past 51 and a half years that our company has been in business, and they work. I tell you that they work because they worked for me. So try to use the script as is. The more you read it out loud to yourself, the more natural it will sound when you're reading it on the phone to a potential customer. Now, the other thing I'll tell you that you can do is to tell the person that you're reading it to that you're reading a script. So, for example, you call your mom and you're like, hey, Mom, I started this Mary Kay thing and I've got this script that I have to practice on 10 people. Do you care if I read it to you? Now, you make her answer the questions just like she normally would. And at the end, you've still got a booking, but you didn't have to feel so uncomfortable about reading the script. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. Okay, and if you hear noise in the background, that's my son. So that's okay. Okay, so first of all, hi, Sally. I lost my place already. Okay. I'm doing this on my phone, so it's not the fanciest. Okay. Hi, Sally. This is Laura. Do you have just a minute? Great. So guess what? I just got a huge challenge from my Mary Kay sales director for the month of January. I'm so excited, but I need your help. To earn the prize, she challenged me to pamper 30 new women this month, and I thought of you because blank. Give a sincere reason why. Can you think of any reason you wouldn't let me borrow your face to practice on? Great, I knew I could count on you. Let me tell you the dates I have available in the next 2 weeks so you can pick what's best for you. I have Monday, January 20th or Wednesday, January 22nd. Which of those two is better for you? Since I need to complete these 30 faces and I can do up to 4 faces at a time, who else can you think of who would let me practice on them at the same time? Anyone else? Anyone else? I know it's hard to come up with people on the spot, so I'll tell you what. If you can put a list together of 3 to 5 people, I'd be in a position to give you up to $100 of free product. Could I get your list today, or would tomorrow be better? What time should I call you? 6 p.m.? Okay, that sounds great. I'll need the names and the numbers for those you invite, okay? And while I have you on the phone, let me get your email address so I can send you my hostess info. And what's your home address? One last thing, Sally. These are my training classes, and I want you to know that I'll keep our appointment no matter what. Can you think of any reason why our appointment wouldn't hold? No? Okay, great. Thanks again for helping me out. I promise we'll have a lot of fun. Now, I know that might seem cheesy, and it is a little bit, but it works. And I will tell you that the first part of this script is a little bit different than what I had intended for it to be. So what you really want to say is, let's say your name is Sally. Hi, Sally. This is Laura. Do you have just a minute? Great. Guess what? I'm so excited because I just started my new Mary Kay business, or my new Mary Kay business. So instead of I just got a huge challenge from my sales director, you'll just tell them that you just started your new business and you're so excited, but you need their help. That's literally the only thing that you need to change. I will send, once I get done recording this, I'll send the correct script with it. So now I'm just going to go through it and break it down for you and tell you why every part of it is important. It's really important that you know that we put each word in here on purpose. We don't include any word if it's not important. And I know that sounds silly, but things, the way we phrase things, it's for a certain way. A lot of psychology goes into this and things like that. So, okay. Let's say you're talking to Sally. Hi, Sally. This is Laura. Do you have just a minute? Now, okay, if you're calling your best friend, you're not going to be like, hi, best friend. This is so-and-so. Do you have just a minute? You're going to talk like you normally would talk for a few minutes. And then you're probably going to want to say, okay, so I'm actually calling because I just started this new Mary Kay business and I'm so excited, but I need your help. And then you're just going to go into your script from there. Or, like I said, you can let them know that you're reading from a script because you need to practice that. Okay, so you're so excited, but you need their help. That part's really important because a lot of people like to rain on your parade when you start something new and exciting. Wouldn't you agree? Have you probably had someone already say, why are you doing that Mary Kay thing? I will tell you right up front, the very first person I called as soon as I signed up and did my agreement was my mom. And I said, you're talking to the newest Mary Kay consultant. And she said, why? So you're not alone. I promise you that there are negative people out there, but there are positive people out there, and you don't want to take advice from anyone you wouldn't want to trade places with. So if someone doesn't have experience in Mary Kay, don't take advice from them about it because they don't really know. They don't really know. To earn the prize, which you're going to get, she challenged me to pamper 30 new women this month, and I thought of you because. Okay, now, couple of things here. So very first is that you have now been challenged to pamper 30 women this month. 30 women in 30 days is called a power start. 15 women in 15 days is called a perfect start. We will go over later how you can earn a charm bracelet and charms to go on that. And if you complete your perfect start or power start plus, which we'll talk about later, you'll earn a charm to go on the bracelet for each one of those. So you've officially been challenged to do that in your first month. So that's challenge number 1. Go ahead and write that down. Okay, and you thought of Sally because blank. Give a sincere reason why. This part is really important. You don't want to be like, because I knew you would help me out. You want to say something like, because you love skincare and makeup, because you have beautiful blue eyes, because you have a great complexion, because your hair color is so unusual. Something like that. Something that's a compliment. If she's got like a strange auburn hair color, then that might be a compliment to her. Or, maybe she's got purple hair and you're like, I would love to feature you because you have purple hair and that's awesome. Something like that, just be very sincere with your compliments. With these people that should not be too hard. Okay. Can you think of any reason why you wouldn't let me borrow your face to practice on? Can you think of any reason you wouldn't let me borrow your face to practice on? Okay. So I want to point out to you the very specific phrasing that we use there. Can you think of any reason why you wouldn't let me borrow your face to practice on? Okay. So that is there for a reason. In Mary Kay, we often use the phrase, can you think of any reason why you couldn't, why you wouldn't? Because what ends up happening is they're saying, no, I can't think of any reason. And if they do think of a reason, they're saying, you know what, I actually am too busy right now, or I don't have enough money right now. They're giving you a reason instead of just saying, if you would have said, could you help me out? And they say no, then they don't have to give you a reason. This makes them give you what we literally would call their excuse, their objection, and you would overcome that. There is a sheet called the Overcoming Objections sheet that has a list of things that you can say to every response. So if someone says, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't know enough people, things like that you can read and memorize the things off of this, and it'll tell you what to say when someone says that. I'll attach that in this email as well. Okay, great. I knew I could count on you. Let me tell you the dates I have available in the next 2 weeks so you can pick what's best for you. Okay, this is important. This is so important. You're a brand new consultant. And let's say, now I'm sure this is not the case, let's say you don't work, you don't have a husband, you don't have kids. Clearly, no one has all of those luxuries. But you have a completely open schedule. You have nothing on your calendar that would prevent you from being able to do this at any point in time. Do you think it's appealing to someone to talk to someone who isn't busy? If you say, you know what, I'm wide open, you just pick a time. That doesn't sound like a professional Mary Kay consultant, does it? That sounds like someone who's brand new at this and doesn't know what she's doing. So what you want to do is make yourself sound just a little bit busier than you maybe are. And if you're the kind of person like me who you've got your kids, school functions, you've got workout schedule, you've got, doctor's appointments, you've got whatever it is that you have, you've got your husband's schedule, you've got if you work a full-time job, you've got that. Then you probably do have a busier schedule, but still you want to select a couple of dates to give them so that they know that your time is special and your time is limited. And they better get on this now before all your time books up. Okay, so what you want to say is, I'm going to give you 2 dates to pick from. Which of these work for you? And then you give them 2 dates. Now, the only thing I like to add in before that is, based on whatever your availability is, you can say something like, I'm available, for me personally, I say I'm available daytime, evening, and weekends, because I am. I don't have a full-time job. My son's in school all day typically, so that helps. I have really flexible schedule. But I don't like to say I'm free all the time. I like to say I have daytime, evening, and weekend availabilities. Which of those works best for you? Now, let's say that you work nights. You might have to say, I have daytime and weekend availability. Let's say you work a 9-to-5 job. I have evening and weekend availability. Let's say you don't have any weekday availability at all. I'm available on the weekends. What day typically works better for you, Saturday or Sunday? And then you tell them, based on your schedule, which Saturday or Sundays that you have open. Okay, so, I have blank or blank available. Which of those works better for you? And let's say they say, actually neither of those, I'm busy on both of those days. Then you're like, okay, that's great. I also have this and this available. You just happen to have 2 more things come open on your schedule. Does that make sense? So you're going to give them 2 dates to pick from until you get a date. Now, what happens a lot of times, I would say probably in 80% of these phone calls, is they're going to say, oh, I'd love to help you out, but I don't have my calendar with me or I don't have my schedule with me. Can I give you a call back when I do? And it's really easy and really tempting to just be like, yeah, that's great. I know I'll talk to them again later. It's no big deal. But what happens is 3 months down the road, you still haven't booked them because you're going back and forth constantly, without being able to get a specific date. So what is the best to do in that situation is never, ever, ever, if I could stress this, never get off the phone. Ever, 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 ever get off the phone without setting a tentative date and time. And this is how you do that. You say, you know what? I totally understand that. And we can absolutely change this. But just for this challenge that I'm in, do you care if we go ahead and set up a tentative date and time? And then once you have a chance to look at your calendar, I'll give you a call back a little bit later and we can change it if needed. Is that okay? And she'll say, yeah, that's fine. And then you still pick some sort of date and time that she thinks will probably work, but she's not sure about. Never get off the phone without booking a tentative date and time. I cannot stress that enough. Okay, the next paragraph is, since I need to complete these 30 faces and I can do up to 4 faces at a time, who can you think of who would let me practice on them at the same time? Now it says 4/6 because if you ordered inventory, you actually will have 2 more mirrors coming in your kit, in your inventory to put in your kit. So you get 4 in your starter kit, you'll get 2 more in your inventory. So you can either do 4 or 6 faces at a time. We don't ever recommend going over 6 faces. That's way too many people, but you do want to strive to have at least 3 or 4 women there. That's when you're going to have your best results. So that you're asking her, who else can you think of who would let me practice on them at the same time? Anyone else? Anyone else? Because she's saying, my mom probably would, and you're writing this stuff down. Her mom. Even if she doesn't say their name. My sister probably would. Okay. My best friend, Jill, probably would, and you're writing all this down. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, so maybe she says, maybe instead of giving you names, she says, yeah, I could probably think of some people. Let me get back to you on that. What do you think you're going to do? You want to make sure that you get a time that you're going to get that guest list from her. On here it says, I know it's hard to come up with people on the spot. So I'll tell you what, if you can put a list together of 3 to 5 people, I'd be in a position to give you up to $100 of free product. That's where you've just given her the bait. You're dangling it in front of her going, I've got this right here for you if you'll do this for me. The whole benefit of hosting a class for a hostess is that they get free product up to $100. Now, I'll go over our free product program with you later, but basically that breaks down into $25 increments. They get $25 when they have at least 3 women there who are over the age of 18 and don't have a consultant. They get $25 for holding their original date and time. They get $25 for having $300 in sales, and they get $25 for you getting 2 bookings from the class. That's just the really slow or fast breakdown of it in a nutshell so that you know what I'm talking about. That is something we will go over a little bit more later. But you're telling her, hey, if you put this guest list together for me, we get 3 people at your house, you will get up to $100 in free product. And then you say, can I get your guest list today or would tomorrow be better? Now I'm telling you this because a lot of people say, hey, could you get me that guest list by tomorrow? But what I want to point out to you is it's not her job to get you the guest list. It's your job to get it from her. If you look at this, if you look at your Mary Kay business like a job, now a lot of you started this business and you're not looking for something that's hard or that's job-like. And I get that because this is not a hard business. This is a fun business. But you have to look at it like it is a job because otherwise you're not going to get the results you want. So if you take it seriously like that and you think it's my job to contact her, she's not getting paid to contact me. I'm going to get paid to contact her. I'm going to get paid to follow up with her. So you want to make sure you do that. So you set up a time to call her and you're going to say, can I get that guest list today or would tomorrow be better? What time should I call you? Okay, 6 p.m. Great. I'll need the names and the phone numbers for those you invite. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to use those phone numbers to do what we call pre-profiling. We're going to go over that in the next email, next video. While I have you on the phone, let me get your email address so I can send you my hostess information. And what's your home address? So things you're needing: guest list with names and numbers, her email address, her home address. Okay, those are all going to come into play in the next video. One last thing, Sally, these are my training classes, and I want you to know that I'll keep our appointment no matter what. Can you think of any reason our appointment wouldn't hold? I will tell you that as Mary Kay consultants, we never cancel appointments because it's just like we just don't do it. We just don't cancel appointments because we have a 50% cancellation rate anyway, which is high and sucks. But if we know that number, we can work with it. If we know we want to hold 4 classes, then we know we have to book 8. If we know we want to hold 2, then we know we need to book 4. So half of your classes are going to cancel for whatever reason anyway, cancel or reschedule. So don't ever cancel a class. If you're sick, if your kids are sick, if you've got something that just comes up and it's an emergency and you're going to have to cancel it, call me, call your recruiter. We will find someone to cover the class for you. So you're letting her know, I take this seriously. This is a business for me and I'm not going to cancel our class. Is there any reason you can think of why that date probably won't work for you? And she might go, oh, you know what? Little Johnny's got a t-ball game or, something like that. And you're going to say, okay. And you're going to go back up to the top. You're going to pick 2 dates and you're going to give her the same thing. Now, if you picked a tentative date, you still want to let her know, I'm not going to cancel this party. So I want to know if this date's going to work for you. I'll call you back at blah, blah, blah time to make sure that it does. Okay, so that is the entire booking script. Now, here is your challenge for this. I want you to practice this script on 10 people. Okay, you should get at least 5 bookings out of the 10 people. And to earn your prize, you need to provide me with the hostess's name, the class date, even if it's tentative, and just send me a screenshot or a snapshot of the guest list when you have that. So you want the hostess name, the date and time, even if it's tentative, and then the guest list once you have that. Once you have done this, practice this with 10 people, and you've gotten 5 bookings out of it, then just send me that information and complete the prize form that I talked about earlier, and you will get a fabulous prize. You want to go ahead and watch the next video very soon after you finish this one because it has a lot to do with how to make sure these bookings actually hold, which is really important. So I hope you have a fabulous day, and I hope this was really informative for you.